Same thing here, maybe not as many aggressive rushes as we saw from both the Sonics and Parabellum, but as we dive into the lobby here, hopefully these operator bans could maybe lean into that attacker aggressive playstyle, because who doesn't love to see a good rush now and then?
Yeah, we've seen more and more specific, target bans from teams. We've seen the Ying being banned out, the Lion being banned out. Of course, people still ban the Thatcher because that'll always be the case. So I'm curious to see if that trend will keep up or things will change. And there it is. Very first ban from TSM is going to be the Ying, affecting how XSET will approach the map. And of course, taking that away from TSM themselves, because they are also known to play this operator at times, especially with Merc on that entry IGL, something you can get aggressive with. Maverick being followed up. That's the first Maverick ban that I can think of. I don't know if it was banned in the XSET game, or the OXT game earlier, but essentially Maverick is very commonly picked on Chalet because, the mute jammers, the kite claws, etc. Mirror being removed as well. That's the black mirror windows. They're never fun to play against.
Yeah, these bans aren't entirely shocking given what we've seen the past few days, but I do like that Ying is something that all these teams have in mind, worried that on a map like Chalet, on a map like Border, where we've also seen that Ying ban, that they're worried attacking teams are going to start to get aggressive, use those Candelas, use those smokes to get into the building quickly. But like you said, those defensive bans, not a shocker whatsoever, the Mira and the Valkyrie. She has been, I'm not sure if we've seen more than 1 or 2 games so far over the last 2 days where Valkyrie is actually up. It seems like everyone just wants to remove those black eye cameras, the additional intel they provide, and since so many maps, especially like the ones that have been reintroduced into the map pool or introduced for the first time, right? Think about Border, so much soft destruction is possible on that map, and those nitro cells can be terrifying as an attacker when you're working your way in the building. There's a black eye camera staring right at your position, and all of a sudden, boom, you're blown up.
It's true, and the thing is, even if Valkyrie is open, sometimes it can be hard to fit her in your operator lineup, but even more so on the attacking side, picking up the IQ, it just doesn't give you anything good besides the fact you can find the cameras, where most teams, they want the explosive economy, the projectiles, etc. And the attacker repick right now is already showing an interesting story, because Spirits is hovering a blitz with 5 seconds left, and it means that he might just stick it all the way through. Yeah, and he does. So we're seeing a blitz. First round on the kitchen attack from XSET, already kind of saying that they want to set the tone and the pace, and that pace is either going to be aggressive or fast or just very memey, if you will.
Right, Spirits is no stranger to this kind of playstyle, doing it quite regularly when he was on that Parabellum roster. They love to bring out that blitz for an Oregon basement rush. You would just run in through bunker, sprint into that basement site, and try to get that supply room plant down as soon as possible. So Spirits is familiar with that. I'm not sure if the rest of this XSET roster has done that very often, but at least he should be comfortable as they work their way to potentially, like you said, making an early aggressive push. I mean, Yaga is already at that office door on the balcony looking to get control of the top floor, which is going to be the central component of this round. In kitchen and dining, you've got to get control of master and office as soon as you can, but as Gomez tries to peek the window, he gets destroyed by Merc, who is trying to start off the day with some frags.
Yeah, and the weird thing is that Spirits and the Blitz actually spawn completely isolated and alone on the library side of things, with his 4 teammates going towards master bedroom and office balcony. And that's weird because the Blitz normally will be with the front end of the push to kind of lead the charge, but instead it's Gomez who dies first, Spirits who dies second. It's so free for Merc right now. What is happening?
Not sure why Spirits was jumping in all alone. Yaga and Kino do get some kills back, and Diaz gets one of his own, but Merc did secure a triple kill moments prior. It does mean we are back in an even 2v2, essentially hitting the reset button on this round, as Yaga and Diaz do have a lot of utility to their name. You still have that breaching hammer, 2 grenades in Yaga's pocket. Diaz has those impacts on the Zofia. He's got more than enough bullets to do pretty much whatever he wants with. And on the defensive side, you only have those 2 toxic smokes remaining in order to make any sort of plant denial happen. They do still have to recover the diffuser on the attacking side, so that will be a slight hindrance, but they're actually not in too bad of a position right now.
No, they're not. And the ironic thing is actually Chala has a spare bear trap in his pocket right now that will not be used this round. Achieve has 2 toxic canisters, but the one great thing for TSM in this round is that Achieve does not have the shotgun. He does have the FMG9 with the 1.5x scope. That gives TSM a bit more firepower to fight back in this 2v2, where typically a smoke only has that SMG11, so you're limited on long range capability fighting, but in this case that won't be a problem. So Chala and Achieve on even ground with the opponents of Yogg and DS.
My one worry here is that both XSET attackers are very spread out right now. Technically, Yaga could support Diaz from above, but if Diaz pushes in by himself like we're seeing right now, if Achieved can catch him out, that's a 1v1 gunfight that's going to favor the defense every single time. Achieved goes for the pre-fire but cannot capitalize. It's actually Chala who looks up above through the floor holes and takes care of Yaga. Diaz falls soon after on the site below, and TSM will claim the first round.
That was such a weird round, right? Because it started off with a lot of nothingness. XSET are kind of figuring out what's happening, and then Merc gets a triple kill. Spirits jumped in through the window completely alone and isolated, but the trade came back and forth, bringing that to a 2v2, which ended up kind of messy from XSET. As you said, they're isolated, they're alone. One person coming up the basement stairs to West Main, and York up with Sledge on the vertical actually got killed off, leading that to the 1 versus 2. And it didn't seem like there was a very clear plan from XSET on what to do in that situation, and they didn't even isolate much with the verticality at all. So I feel like more could have been done, but again, it's early beginnings. It was the very first round, and TSM actually showing us that master pitch and bomb site that we haven't seen much of previously.
Yeah, interesting to see the different approach that teams are taking to this map as a whole. I mean, Sonics and Parabellum, both of those teams favored both the basement site and bar in games before either of the two sites that we've already seen just 2 rounds in. First it was kitchen and dining, now we're headed 1 floor up, directly above to master and office. Now the danger of this site on the defense comes down to really one really strong power position, and that is the master window rappel. Yep. A window that has the ability to cut the sites in half and prevent a lot of defensive rotation.
It is, and we actually see TSM kind of saying, you know what, that's a problem, so we're going to extend down below and have more control than just the bomb set itself. It's achieved right now in trophy/kitchen. You got Merc on the castle, can put up some barricades to limit the line of sight from the attackers. And you got Bolo all the way over in library. Again, extending over and extending under, trying to keep as much map control as possible and setting up problems for XSET to deal with. And if I'm TSM right now, I'm liking this because XSET's big question mark is their attacks. It is their leadership and knowing how to peel apart these attacks, but easy pickings on York on that office door. Punches it, shoots, kills the piano player of Chala. That's the yokai and the echoes off the board. Sure, he tossed them out before. They'll be in the ceiling somewhere, but they can no longer move and they can no longer be activated.
That's a core component of the plant denial removed, and if you look at that secondary TSM utility, you'll notice a lack of nitro cells. No C4s from below, so in terms of plant denial, they are considerably limited. Merc will pick up a kill, though, onto Gomez, continuing to shut down the fragging potential that Gomez can bring to this XSET roster, so TSM will get that kill back and they will be happier for it. We're back in a 4v4, and XSET now will be looking for an answer of their own. It's Yaga on the balcony rappel, looking to spot an angle over towards Merc, who might be in danger in a moment if he exposes his position, because right now he is caught in a little bit of a crossfire between Yaga and Spirits.
But he seems to read the situation well because he's not moving a whole lot, and that's that cancel barricade denying that big window master rappel angle. And when Merc is feeling good, he's gonna get these kills, 5 so far, but I believe Spirits jumps into the bathroom window looking to get aggressive.
Yeah, Yaga somehow dying on that angle, so a great shot from Merc nonetheless. But yeah, you've got Spirits in the mix, and TSM, until a moment ago, they had no idea. Bolo gets caught off guard and removed. Spirits now spots out a second, but he'll fall. Geo gets a nice kill there. Diaz does respond, so once again, it is a 2v2 in round number 2. Diaz will try to make something happen as he works his way into Master, downing Merc, leaving it all up to Achieved here. Once again, he's got the FMG-9, taking down Diaz just barely, but getting it done. So Kino with that diffuser in pocket outside the map, nowhere near his teammate, will have to make a move.
Kino, really questionable because not only is that a 1 versus 2, but also you have diffusers. That means you cannot play off that fact at all, and now you're left in a 1 versus 1, once again with Achieved with that FMG with a great weapon, and there it is, strikes through, swings the door, swings the rotate, gets the kill, and it's TSM making it look almost too easy against XSET, who's kind of falling apart at the moment.
These are those little mistakes, those communication issues from XSET that they themselves talked about on Twitter after the game yesterday that we saw blatantly apparent in their game yesterday. So those are the kind of things they need to work out as soon as they can, right? Why is Kino outside when you have a 2v1 on the bomb site? Why is he the one with the diffuser and he is nowhere in place to potentially get that down? Were they tunnel visioned on getting those frags? What are they trying to accomplish there? Because if you're trying to do these, I mean, I've said this a couple times now, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but taking those 1v1 gunfights, against a defensive team that is already weaker, you're giving them that clutch opportunity. You're giving Achieve the clutch factor.
Yeah, so the thing is that Kino was actually on the Solarium Repel earlier, like right before DS rappelling the big with the master bedroom window. That allowed DS to get the opening kill, but then he used these X-Sky pellets on that master bedroom wall. There's a jammer, and Kino was like, you know what, I can't do much from this position. I'm gonna get off the rappel, run all the way to the balcony to office, and in the interim of that happening, Achieved walked up the Solarium stairs and flanked Diaz, isolated the 1v1, and brought it back to Kino being the last man standing. And well, you can argue that if Diaz, understands that Kino is far away, maybe play super passive, wait for the support to come to you, because if you lose your 1v1 gunfight that is so important, Kino is in a terrible position to actually win it out.
I guess taking a gamble there, and a gamble
Yeah,
that clearly
big gamble.
did not pay off. So as we head into round number 3, XSET is hoping to get that first attacking win on the board. Achieved, though,
This
on
window.
the Oryx, up above. I mean, that window, like you said, has been 2 opening picks for TSM in the very same spot. Merc will throw a good night in chat as he also gets another kill, slamming these XSET attackers before they even have a chance to approach the building and get inside.
Yeah, and I kind of like this from TSM because they're kind of just taking the aggression to exit, saying, okay, you want to play aggressive and fast? We'll play fast and match it, but in fact, we'll win our gunfights more often than you will, and you'll get shut down. Now it's a 5v3, they play together, they're here to trade in case a gunfight breaks out. They understand they have the advantage, can fall back, isolate opponents, and then just chill, because look at this, they're all on site now. They don't need to take any more risks because they've already won the round.
Yeah, they have 2-man advantage. If they can sit back and play the trade game for the remainder of this round, it is in their pocket essentially for free. XSET now, they're the ones who have to take the big risks to pull this one back. Kino being alone right now, opening up this wine cellar door is a little bit of a risk, but he'll eventually be joined by Diaz, so that isn't too much of a worry. A wasted Nitro cell from Merc will come up with nothing, but they still have one in the pocket of Geo, the Kayi. Looks like we're going to see an aggressive swing, though, coming out from TSM as somebody's just going to round the corner, and Merc is going to try to go for the spray, but he gets hit by a stun as he does that, so he'll force to back off. As he tries to retreat, Diaz will spot him out, but he can't quite capitalize.
And this nade will clear out the mute jammer. They already cleared off the trench wall here. Now the breach is being opened up. That gives XSET something to work with, but they will need to find at least a kill or two. With Merc being injured right now, that could be the first one, but he's going to be deep on the bomb site itself, so I doubt he'll be taken out anytime soon. And of course, there's the opening that they need. Now what can you do with this?
Yeah, they've got the opening, but Merc has been recovered, so it's still a 4v3 favoring this defense. Diaz, though, is in the middle of the site, and he's going to start to frag out. Merc is finally finished off, but Bolo does get that trade, looking to play this long angle from Connector, holding back the onslaught from both Spirits and Kino, who are waiting to get something going. Spirits, in the meantime, has been distracted by Achieve up above and now gets slammed into the ground, as Achieved on the Oryx is roaming, and he is having a blast doing it. It is all up to Kino, alone trying to push this site, but he has to stare into 2 deployable shields looking right at his position. You've got Shala sitting extremely patiently in that blue corner, refusing to pop up and take this gunfight.
Look at the discipline. This is beautiful. Like, this is a world championship team. You're on the shield, you could swing, but you got a chief on the hatch above you, so you're just sitting here. You're waiting, you're laughing, and you know what? You're not even worried because you know the enemy's implanting. With 5 seconds left, that's when Shala takes his swing, and even if you failed the gunfight, you get achieved right above the dining hatch, ready to trade it out regardless. So really good. Say that to the team, kind of get them in shape, right? Wake up time, boys. We gotta bring some, some rounds on the board here, because when we go to defense, that's when XSET are capable of winning rounds. But you cannot go 6-0 and then expect to go flawless on defense. You need some headway to make mistakes, allowing you to have failed opportunities. And right now, you don't really have that. You need each and every single round to matter so much, because you are down 0-3. You're attacking Kitchen again, and last time, we didn't even really make it into the building. So what do you do this time? Go slower maybe, because they've been going fast so far. It hasn't worked out. They've been losing every single opening pick basically. So maybe take a chill pill.
Maybe slow it down a little bit,
Yeah.
play a little bit more
Go
of that
library
utility
side as
game.
5 people, drone it in, make it nice and easy, because playing tight together means that when Merc swings you, if you have 2 guns against Merc, at the very worst, you trade 1 for 1. Whereas in previous rounds, you've been swinging Merc, Merc's been winning the gunfights, you're playing 5v4 or 4v5. That doesn't work out in your favor.
Well, I think your point holds some water too, because I think XSET maybe making a little bit of that adjustment. Diaz changing from that Zofia to the Flores at the last minute, maybe a little bit more of that utility and slower focus coming in from them, but either way, they still will have a lot of work to do just in terms of that utility clear. You can see Bolo up above trying to shoot out a couple of drones as he falls back, and a good start and the first opening pick for XSET so far on this map. It is Bolo to fall as he rotated away. Great coverage from Spirits, who finds his second kill on the day.
Yep. That's a great opening, and now again, we're playing it slow, right? A minute hasn't burned, we're not rushing to the building. This is a kitchen defense, so not master bedroom. So we've only taken chimney, we've only taken library, and now we're droning. Good job. Like, this is exactly the pace we need, right? Don't run into the angles of TSM. Figure out what the layout is, the landscape. Communicate. Okay, guys, how do we get into this room without dying instantaneously? Because TSM does have a very big roaming presence. Bathroom window rotation from the sledge to destroy those castle barricades is a great call from Exit as well. Nate can come out, Jock can hold down the rotation, allow Gomez and Spirits to work inside of office, and therefore get some map ground.
Well, the problem, the danger with that kind of pace is that you leave yourself exposed to flanks, and I think XSET have decided it's time to push in at least up above. Spirits throwing this nade, hoping that can clear out this top floor, and Master is now secured thanks to Merc, falling to a beautifully placed frag grenade. XSET now have a two-man advantage for the first time on this map and are looking to further that, but achieved. He is up above, going for a little bit of a flank here, but he's missing his shots. No achieved, missing an opportunity, and now he's in a load of trouble. His position is known, and they probably know. Up above, XSET can see there is only one defensive player remaining on the bomb site. It could be a 5v1 on the site if they choose to push this, and achieved. Maybe he can get back in time with a quick rotation, but Chala is in a load of danger. He'll look towards the Solarium stairs, knowing that eventually XSET are going to have to push down and go for an execute, but you talked about that slow pace, and XSET are showing us that.
Yeah, they are. They're actually keeping it. Even though they know there's only one person on the bomb site, they're still doing vertical play. They're still droning. They lock down the flanks. So now no Achieved is back on the bomb site. They have 30 seconds left. 2 toxic canisters remaining from the side of Achieved, which means they're actually in a good spot. But this vertical play is not going to work out for them because Chala is starting to strike back.
Well, Spirits will take care of Achieved, though, and it is not looking so hot for Chala as he is just mowed down by Spirits, who finds himself a quad kill on that round. And XSET put themselves on top for the first time.
Yep, that's the timeout magic right there. You talk about some things and you saw an instant shift in their gameplay. Organized, structured, step by step, and even with a crazy advantage in a 5 versus 2, they didn't just, throw their head into the water. They were like, all right, guys, keep it cool, keep it, good pace. And sure, Achieved did flank. Well, it was kind of unsuccessfully. He didn't get the kill, but he got past the drone network from XSET, which is a slight mistake on their end. But nothing bad really came out of it. And once Achieved fired his shots, they slowed down, they droned out the situation, and they took their time. And they got rewarded for it. So now, I want to see XSET do it again and show that they understand that was a working formula, and it should probably be the way to go forward against TSM.
I was a little bit worried for a moment, given how slow they were when it was a 5v1 theoretically on the bomb site in that 5v2 situation. And in situations like that, often you do want to just force the issue if you have such a significant advantage and you could just play that trade. But I like what you're saying here. The patience did win out the day, only losing one body the entire time. Had Achieved's flank gone a little bit better, had he been able to finish off that kill, it could be a different story here. But you're right. It was the patience from XSET. It was that utility focus, and they just, like you said, they took a chill pill. They sat back, they relaxed, and they let that round kind of come to them, in a sense. Of course, you do have to continue to move in as an attacking team, but the idea was there for XSET, and they're going to be looking to continue that once again here in round number 5. A top floor defense for TSM as they head back upstairs to Master and Office.
And I like the way you put it, because you point out that Diaz went from Sophia to the Flores, and that was actually the operator indication that their playstyle was going to change, because Flores doesn't really support a very aggressive playstyle because you want to be on your gadget. That is a drone, so you can't really have your gun out. But it really speaks into, utility clear, player positions, and that's exactly what Bolo and TSM are trying to do right now. That drone went the wrong way because it went off the balcony downstairs, but we got more in the pockets. Flores does have 4 Retaro drones, so he has got 3 more to go. Gomez gets another opening pick for the side of XSET, and that once again puts them in the lead for this round.
Yeah, so far 4 rounds in, every opening kill has resulted in a round win for the team who finds it, and if XSET can continue that theme here, I mean, well, yeah, they've got the opening pick and they'd be sitting pretty. Bolo, though, wants to change this up. He is taking an aggressive position in library, or at least he was. He still is here, trying to avoid these drones and potentially looking to drop down this hatch, but he is in a load of danger. Now at 1 HP and taking this aggressive fight. He's got spirits coming from behind. He's got attackers on all sides of him, but Geo, perfectly timed, comes in for that support, knowing that there's going to try to be a little bit of a flank on Bolo, so at least he's able to get one kill. But Bolo, he was just in that position to die and hope that his teammate could play off of him.
Yeah, and they did, right? Geo got that one kill, and then XSET played nicely around it. 2 people jumped in, one from small library window, one from big library window. So at the very, very worst there, XSET guaranteed the 1-for-1 trade, but they got the perfect outcome. They actually got a 2-for-1 trade overall, which keeps them in the lead. Finga got taken down. She actually had already used both of her grenades. Yogg used both as well, leaving 1 grenade left on Gomez. So it's not the biggest loss from the side of XSET. You know, Spirits also already got the 5 kills. It's time to share that with the rest of the team. And Geo on this castle barricade could get freaky, but right now just holding tight, holding the angle down, because we know that last time around, you know, XSET came for a late rotation to break them. They will do just that with the Hibana. That is way safer this time.
Yeah, so Geo looks like he wants to get a bit aggressive once this opens up. He'll hold this angle, and Diaz, suspicious there may be someone around the other side, is reluctant to peek this. But Yaga, who's pushing in the site, collects 1, now 2, his own triple kill, and Diaz will finish it off as he, you know, baited a little bit of a run out there from the window or something like that. But another great round for XSET. It is opening kills equals rounds wins. That is so far the theme for Chalet.
It is. I don't think it's very often that we see somebody jump out of a window to get flashbang. Normally the flashbang is the one to go in through the window, but as you said, that's a kind of a bait, right? Flores shot some shots, ran away, turned around through the flashbang, kept running, and then when a Chief jumped out, it was nothing but a flashbang and a white screen, which left him extremely vulnerable in that situation. And TSM now actually finding some struggles against the pace change from XSET. The slower style really is working for them, but more so than that, as you mentioned, the opening kill going to one side usually sways the numbers in their favor. And it's actually been Merc, I believe, like 3 rounds in a row, or 3 out of 4 rounds at least, who's been the first person to die from TSM. And those 6 kills that Merc has, that was in the first 3 rounds from TSM's victories. And in the last 2 rounds, well, he's been the first to die and getting 0 kills for that. So the change up here, obviously showing its mark, and without the Merc factor right now, TSM doesn't have like an early way into these rounds.
Well, TSM are hoping to stop the bleeding a little bit and recover this half. I mean, they'd love, honestly, a 4-2 defensive half is a great place to be.
It is a
Chalet.
great place.
And XSET would certainly love to tie things up at 3-3. XSET themselves were in a bit of a similar position yesterday. They were the ones who got up to that 3-0 lead to kick things off before eventually not even securing a single round after that, getting absolutely creamed in terms of a 7-0 run by their opponents. But TSM right now are the ones in that kind of similar position, and they'll be looking to stop that bleeding by hopefully leaning in to that slower paced game. We see Bolo bringing out those Wamine magnets. You combine that with even the goo mines of Merc. He's been rocking the Legion pretty consistently, hoping to get a better idea of XSET's positions as they work their way into the building.
Yeah, and as you said, like a 3-3 split here, or a 4-2 split for TSM's favor is great, considering that you're on Chalet defense. It is an attacker-sided map typically, but we also say XS's attacking side is arguably their weaker side, so this could just be one of those evened out situations where, sure, TSMs get the statistically better side advantage of attack soon, but we also see XS's defenses, which is their stronger suit. Bolo juking nades left and right, Joan at his feet, no more magnets left right now, but one will be in his pocket very soon. As you see that gadget timer ticking up in just 2 seconds. There it is. Toss it out. Safe and sound once again. And both nades from Spirits and Yogg has been used and burnt, which means Gomez's 2 grenades are the only ones remaining. And Diaz has yet to use a single drone to help force out the position from Bolo, which means no opening kill has happened so far. We're halfway through the round. Yeah,
Bolo may not be collecting frags, but in this round, he is doing his job as good as he could ever in terms of that utility waste and that time delay. XSET are now getting a little bit flustered, so Kino's going to just decide to push himself into this sandwich window, but Achieved is waiting for him on that angle. Mistake number 1 from XSET coming out here in round number 6. Chala gets another. Gomez overexposing himself, and it looks like XSET are falling apart, falling to pieces now, as Spirits is gone as well thanks to Geo. Yaga does get one back, trying to continue his kill streak from that last round. Bolo is is finally removed, but with only 50 seconds left. Just 2 of these players have to figure out a way to fell 4 of these TSM defenders, work their way to that bottom floor, and try to get something going.
Yeah, and TSM has read the situation as, we know what, we played too aggressive, we gave them the opening pick, and clearly they got too much control with that. They were just sitting ducks, but Bolo, as you mentioned, specifically did such a remarkable job burning so much utility while also staying alive.
And the beauty of it all is that wasn't even a bar and games defense.
No.
That's the thing. XSET may have been pranked in a little bit. I mean, it's over here on the top, or rather in kitchen and dining, but master and office is where those last 2 gunfights will occur, with Merc just cleaning it up with the pistol. I mean, putting on a show in the end. TSM, they did indeed stop the bleeding. That was a dominant round, to say the least, having 4 defenders still alive in the end, so they will complete that 4-2 defensive half here on Chalet.
And that's going to be looking very good if you're a TSM fan. And you say, pew, pew, pew. That's the pistol right there. I typically, when I see a pistol whip in CTA, I'm always thinking there's no way this will work out, because pistols are, you don't have a scope on most of them, so it's so hard to see where you're shooting at. But in that specific situation, Yogg was literally 1 HP, and Merc had information where he was coming from, so very easy doing for him. And XSET, they're going to keep up this fashion of, we like basement defense, which most teams in North America so far has been preferring as well. It's where you play the Kaid, sometimes you can play the Mute on top of that as well. Deny those walls, deny the breaches, and then you got to look at TSM's attack a repick right now as they figure out where the bomb site is. So far, Merc's been showing the Sophia into the Nomad. That's going to help you take the map control, air jet, the flanks, etc., and make sure that no one is coming from behind. And that's, XSET's aggression is what TSM is expecting, and the Nomad plays very nicely into that, trying to control them more. So I like this attacker repick from Merc, but that's the only thing they'll do, because the rest of the lineup will stick to their guns. It's the Sledge, it's the Nomad attacker repick, it's the Finger, the Ace, and the Hibana. So 2 Heart Breachers in case one of them dies.
Well, I do love the decision of the Nomad, especially on a site like this. When you're attacking the basement, there generally is more of a roam presence, more flanks to worry about, and if you do end up pushing from that wine cellar side of things, you always got to worry about that west main flank, or potentially a drop down in that garage, the big garage hatch coming in from Trophy. All sorts of concerns that those air jabs can easily alleviate. Speaking of, you've got Spirits on a roam on that top floor. He isn't going nuts, but he's got 5 kills right now, going even, and looking to continue that on the defensive side, on the prowl up above, and now eventually dropping down below to join his team, leaving Gomez up there alone.
Yeah, I think it made sense because, TSM had focused on the library side of things, and that's, where Spirits was all alone himself. So he went back to the bomb side while Gomez keeps the aggression up on Master side of things. And now, actually, Spirits up the west main stairs has found himself into kitchen in close proximity to support Gomez if he so needs to. But the only thing is, there's no C4 on the roam game. It's going to be impacts from the side of Spirits, and a shield from Gomez has already been put down, so they can't really help each other necessarily unless Spirits comes up above, which he has.
I mean, Spirits is sprinting all over this
all
map.
over the map.
He is already back upstairs after starting upstairs, going down below, and now he is back in the action. And TSM, they've passed by him just a little bit, and they could be in danger unless Merc has some good coverage. I'm sure they've got some flank drones set up and some air jabs in position, but Spirits and Gomez look to be playing for that late game flank, because now TSM, they are tunnel visioned on the site below. The vertical play from Achieved has begun. You've got Bolo working his way around down by those blue stairs, potentially looking to pressure that blue hall down below by Garage and get some frags on the board.
Yeah, there's going to be a frontal attack from the side of TSM, of course. The vertical, the hatch here being breached open, doing the trick with the Hibana where you can put them on the soft floorboards next to the hatch to either get the claw vertically or just destroy the hatch without actually being directly on it. It works beautifully. Hatch is now open. Damage has been done. Verk comes out, and while they don't really have full map control, this could get dicey if XSET finds an opening, which Spirits and Gomez are still looking for.
They're hunting for these kills, and it's going to be more than just a distraction. It is going to work. There goes Merc, taken off the board first. Opening pick for XSET, and Bolo has to find a way to respond. He will, taking down Kino before quickly getting traded back by Yaga. A 3v4. TSM on the back foot once again, with Geo trying to find an answer down below. Achieved, spots the rotation of Gomez, though, quickly neutralizes, but down below, Spirits and Diaz clean up the rest of his team. Achieved is the last player standing. He knows that there's probably somebody up above trying to get aggressive on him. It's Spirits dancing around the corner, and he'll end up winning that fight with the pistol. Well played from him. XSET making it happen to kick off defense.
Spirits is a little like racing machine, right? Because he was top floor, basement, west main, kitchen, top floor again, down to first floor, went to basement stairs, first floor, and even gets the final kill of the round as well as the first. So Spirits, absolutely ridiculous showcasing of a roam presence in that round, really punishing TSM's, I don't want to say lack of respect for the roam game, but they tried to simplify their attack, right? They had Merc on the Nomad, they had all 3 air jabs put down, they had flying drones, but they didn't have full map coverage or map presence, and normally when you're a defender, you'll feel kind of scared, you'll feel kind of afraid when all that's going on, but Spirits clearly wasn't afraid even a tiny bit, because when you're moving as much as he was, that's confidence speaking.
Well, XSET have done a great job of continuing our opening pick theme. We don't usually get to say this 7 rounds in, but the opening kill has won the round every single time. We are 7 for 7 with that theme, and well, we'll see if that continues. I mean, Chalet is an aggressive map after all, and it generally lends itself to that kind of strategy. TSM hoping to break that loop, or continuing that themselves by themselves finding that opening kill. So we'll kick things off in round number 8, which appears to be a bar and games defense for XSET. We've got a pretty similar lineup for TSM, but they will be bringing out the Thatcher for the first time.
That is true, and Thatcher is something that we typically see being banned, but this time is opened up, and of course, if it's open at your disposal, there's no reason not to use it. And it will be Merc who's doing the flexibility play from the side of TSM, first the Nomad, now the Thatcher, and also kind of making sense because Merc has been the IGL since, since Invitationals essentially, right? Because in Stage 3, they were still going through those role changes, and we've seen Merc play a ton of different operators in both defense and attack, really showing the flexibility of his character and as a player while still doing IGL duties and putting up great numbers, currently being the top fragger for his team as well with 8 and 6 kills. Or 8 kills and 6 deaths, rather.
Well, Gomez is one of those players looking to add to his kill tally. He's supposed to be this fragging monster that is going to add to this XSET roster. He hasn't quite made his impact felt as much here on Chalet, so he's looking to spice that up by playing up top, trying to be that core component that slows down TSM. But as I say that, unfortunately cursing the poor fellow, and he will go down right away thanks to Merc. Bolo continues that. Goodbye Spirits. Now he knows there's somebody sneaking up from behind. He'll whip around and take down Yaga without much trouble at all. Just in 90 seconds since this round has begun, Kino and Diaz are all that remains of this defensive side.
It's like Bolo getting 3 kills with like 15 bullets as well. That round just, doing tons of damage. Nate comes out on Diaz, doesn't do that much damage himself. C4 picks tossed back, but no damage at all. 2 versus 5 with Bolo low on HP, but with that one Adreno surge, it gets used. Now, looking pretty healthy for TSM, and well, XSET, you gotta get at least 1 kill, but there it is. Kino opens it up. It has to be the SMG-11 duo on these SAS operators to try and clutch it out.
Yeah, Kino gets the first, and it is not quite over for XSET, but as I say that again, Merc will shut me up pretty quickly. He'll take down Kino. Bolo finishes off Diaz, getting a triple kill of his own in that round, and finally starting to heat up, which is good to see.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bolo's had a bit of a slow start, both, on Theme Park previously, where Newers was the person to shut down Bolo on that entry, and I believe Bolo was 1-5 until this round, where he got 3 or 4 kills, and now he's actually, on the board, having a presence, making good work of the entry as well. TSM taking full map control this time, taking the gunfights to XSET instead of doing that half and half map control situation, and it worked a lot better for them. And I think the story in this matchup so far is pretty much that both teams are feeling out each other. Speaking of feelings, who is the cutest coach? Pojo or Boo Boo, I believe it's.
I love Boo Boo. I don't know why.
I'm not sure where it's from.
Because
it's Bodega.
Right, it's Bodega. Apparently, in the LATAM region, that is what they call Bodega. So
Boo Boo.
That's good to know. Call him Boo Boo. But it looks like Pojo won this poll tremendously here. 87% to 13%. So much so, the 80% overlapping there with the TSM logo. He's just that cute, apparently. So love Pojo for that. Congratulations to him for winning the hearts of the community, it seems. And right now, TSM winning over XSET as well, not just in terms of community polls, but on the scoreboard, they still hold this 2-round lead. On the attacking side as well, TSM have started to heat up a little bit. Right now, it's just 1-1 since we've switched sides. They'll be looking to continue that here as XSET head upstairs to master an office.
Yeah, and speaking about Merc's flexibility as a player, he's now on the Nuke, the Danish stealth operator that tries to get and sneak into to the map of the bomb site itself, and it's something that we've seen being banned quite a bit in the NL so far, and also played a fair bit on top of that too. And it's one of those operators that kind of strikes fear into the mental of your opponents, and when operators or players like Spirits are running on the map so much, well, when Nuke is on the board, you kind of have to fear every single area. You see here Merc on that fireplace double door, could just walk in at any moment, and of course XSET will have no idea that it's happening until they get shot from behind. So keep an eye on Merc, see if he can do some damage, because he's looking for enemies to isolate.
Yeah, with XSET, they do have a pretty solid web of control
There it
around
is.
this map. But as I say that again, TSM are killing me here. Merc will shut him down. Gomez gets one back and takes down Bolo, neutralizing that quick advantage. But Merc steps up to shut down Spirits. Both of these players only slightly extended from the bomb site. Spirits, who is over on those Solarium stairs until just a moment ago, will be the second to fall. So TSM in a 4v3. Diaz also extended, positioned here on the Fireplace Hall staircase, hoping to spot out just a straggler on this TSM attack. But for the most part, it looks like TSM have grouped up and they've got one sole focus, pushing this bomb site.
Yeah, it is a massive bedroom bomb site, and it seems to be a Solarium take. That's where the full focus and most of the focus from TSM will be. Curious to see if Merc will flank late in the round, because look at the clock. A minute and 13 seconds left still on this round. Nade's Riddle now being used by both Merc and Achieved, trying to do some damage. I would say, maybe saving one could be smart, but Achieved says, you know what, I believe this Nade will hit the mark next time, and as I say that, he says, you know what, no it won't. Breach will go out. Merc has joined his teammates up on the Solarium side, and with this Ibana Breach, he can walk on in and try and get something to happen, but Kino, nice swing, takes out Merc, evens back the score, 3 versus 3.
Yeah, good shot there from Kino, but a beautiful nade to follow it up from Achieved. He's looking to put this round away as soon as he can with 40 seconds remaining. You've got a player still on that master window, and the other two attackers working their way in from that Solarium side. Both Gomez and Diaz have to really split their attention here because of these multi-angled attackers that TSM are approaching from. Diaz gets taken down, but gets the trade. Good shot with him in the SMG-11, but that is leaving a low HP Gomez alone, and the bomb is now being planted. Gomez just doesn't know where to look, didn't know which of the 100 different angles he should be peeking on that master window. We talked about how powerful that position can be for the attackers. Looks like TSM leveraged that to their advantage perfectly.
Yeah, now 1v2, having, Geo inside the master bedroom bomb site from the Solarium Breach, able to plant down the diffuser while the last players on that big window repel. It really is one of those quote-unquote ideal or perfect situations, because it is such a strong position to be on that repel, and then, once Geo gets down the diffuser, he can then get active as well, hold the post plant and secure that round. And XSET now struggling a bit to kind of find their stride, and it's honestly Merc doing so much of that early round damage towards XSET with the Nuke. And he's going to stick it so far for this third round in a row, or second round in a row, should I say. And Merc had a bit of a sleeper game yesterday against OXG.
Yeah, 8 and 10. That's it overall. He was only 1-1 on the entry. Not the usual stats we expect from a player of his caliber, but you look at the scoreboard now, and you got to say he is certainly heating up.
That he is, and he's been doing it on Castle, on Lesion, on Nuke, and then showing Iana, but actually going back to the Thatcher, and that's usually an indication that, like TSM now know it's a basement attack. They want to have the Thatcher open, make their lives easier, breach open these walls, gain control, and hopefully this time they will, either go for a direct attack, which means they don't have to care about the roam at all, or they will respect the roam from XSET, which they did not do the last time, and that's kind of why they fell apart.
Well, match point, XSET need to find 3 rounds in a row. Again, the structure we have here in the NAL, you get to overtime and you get at least 1 point, but if you finish in regulation, 3 points for the team to complete that victory, and that's what TSM are looking to do. The Selma charge will go off and open up just a sliver of that wall on the snowmobile garage, getting an eye on Diaz's position, but look how far these XSET defenders are extended all over this map.
Yep, just like the previous time around, they want to get active, but you see very clearly with Jog clearing out every single angle ADS, he does not know what the danger is, and Bolo shows why you should care about every single corner, because Bolo strikes from behind. Now this nade on the vertical hold, so not do any damage, there's nobody there, but just in case there would be, damage would have been done. And that's Bolo once again on this finger, getting active 6 and 7 right now, so his name and Achieve doing lethal damage with those explosive utility, usually from below.
Yeah, TSM seem to be tired of this map already. They want to finish this one here in a 7-3 fashion. XSET really hoping to get one more round than their game yesterday, maybe more possible now that Diaz has taken down Merc, silencing the man of the hour, but looks like a trade will quickly be found by Bolo. Some coverage trying to be provided there by Kino, but he is felled immediately. All up the spirits, and there he goes. Achieve will clean him up, and TSM will clean up XSET in a pretty decisive 7-3 fashion here on Chalet, bouncing back from yesterday's loss, and maybe not fully there yet, but looking more like the world champions we know they are.
Did you see Merc type GG in chat in like the 1v4 before the round was over?
He did.
He was like, you know what,